Oh boy, Extreme Rules. Extreme Rules. What do I have to say about this show? I've sat here and I've watched the G1 for the past 2 days now, which the first 2 days of this entire tournament, I've seen nothing but great things going on with great matches. I look at tonight's pay-per-view tonight and I see a lot of screwy and bullshit going on, and I want to say some good parts of it, but I want to say a lot of mostly confusing aspects out of this entire pay-per-view itself, because I don't know, man. This show has just been either, it's like the crowd's either hijacked it or it's just been shitty on a lot of levels throughout this entire pay-per-view tonight. But it's like I said before, like a couple seconds ago, I look at the G1 for the past 2 days. Like I said, we're only 2 days into this G1, but when I'm looking at matches like Omega versus Naito, or Ibushi versus Zack Sabre Jr., or I don't know who was on day one thing, Okada versus Jay White, or Suzuki versus Tanahashi. I'm sitting there wondering to myself, God damn, this was like two fucking great shows. And like I said before, we're only in the 2 days of the G1 tournament. We still got a whole month of this to go. And I'm looking at Extreme Rules thing. It's like, God damn, man, who do I think was going to be the better show? After seeing Omega and Naito earlier today, I know New Japan is different from, America and everything, but hot damn, just looking at that show and I'm looking at tonight's show, it's literally I feel like I'm watching two different wrestling companies. Really, I really do. And it is two different wrestling companies, but I feel like I'm watching two different things right now. Like, thank God fucking Zack Sabre Jr. and Kota Ibushi decided to go back to New Japan, because the shit I saw tonight on Extreme Rules was just I don't even know what to say throughout the entire this pay-per-view, but I'm gonna go about one by one throughout every part of it, because I've either seen questionable decisions, odd title changes, crowd hijacking the show, of course, or just bad booking or bad matches, or whoever creative hates throughout a lot of these things, because that's what I saw tonight out of Extreme Rules. So, like I said, before I even get in this review, I recommend everybody to go watch the G1 Climax right now at NJPW. So please watch, if you have any time, watch that show. But moving on into the fact of the matter at hand, I guess I'll start with the pre-show, since I did see those matches. I will say Andrade Cien Almas, Tranquilo, Los Ingobernables, or De Japón, whatever you want to go by, beat Sin Cara, pretty much the match from last Tuesday on SmackDown. I don't know why this needed to happen again. Almost got the win. Some people think they're just kind of playing up more into Sin Cara, almost like he's getting this, almost like a mini push against him. I hope they actually do something with Almas and Zelina Vega, because they have not really done nothing ever since they gotten here on SmackDown in May, and this is like the only first really official feud they've actually been in, really, because they haven't really had any other type of opponents for Almas except for Sin Cara. Some people think they're downplaying Almas by not making him into a bigger deal, that he had to use Vega to get the win, but he's a heel, so it's not much of a problem of it. New Day went against Sanity in a table match. Not a bad match, I will say that. Sanity really needed the win. They desperately needed the win, to be honest, because it was like odd enough they were losing as soon as they got here. So Sanity was the right choice of having beaten the New Day in a table match by putting Kofi through the table. But as we got into the official first part of the show, it was Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt versus the B team for the Raw Tag Team titles. They immediately started chanting Ronda Rousey, since she was out there in front row. It was her husband also with her. But this match, I'm not going to say it was bad, but just this whole tag division is just very bad on Monday Night Raw in general. Pretty much, surprisingly, Dallas, he pretty much shoved Hardy to Wyatt, and he pretty much hit a neck breaker from the top rope, I believe, or draping neck break, I believe it was called. on him, pretty much for the win, which I'm very surprised at. I saw they've pinned Hardy every week now. Like, they've pinned Matt Hardy so many times that I actually thought Hardy and Wyatt were going to win. But then again, I wasn't really behind any of these teams, to be honest. Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt have done nothing ever since they really even got the tag team titles. The B team, like, which is really surprising, these guys have just been in the undercard for so long now, becoming champions, is just very, very surprising. But who was really the heels in this whole thing? Because people even chant, let's go B team sucks, and there's delete chants and everything. Listen, I don't know if they're just going to be transitional champions just to drop to the Authors of Pain, because this tag division on Monday Night Raw is very bad right now. It really is. So, it's just not good. I'm very surprised they actually won the tag team titles, in all honesty. I'm really surprised. But moving on into that, they pretty much moved to Kurt Angle, which they finally addressed the whole Brock Lesnar situation, and now that he can show up, they finally address him even being on UFC, and say he could either show up on Raw tomorrow night, or I guess they're teasing it, or tell his next title defense, or he'll be stripped of the championship, which the people actually went insane for, since they want the title off of him. And Kurt Angle probably had the biggest pop of the night since it was his hometown. Finn Balor went against Mr. Smiling himself. The Smiling Man himself went against the waiter, or the TJ Friday manager, Baron Corbin, as JoJo had to reintroduce him as Stephanie McMahon's personally appointed constable. Listen, this match should have been on Raw, most likely. I didn't really care. Corbin dominated most of the match anyways, and Finn pretty much won with a roll-up. But did this do anything for any of these two? Which this feud looks like it's not even over now, because now they're saying, oh, Corbin took so much time beating him up, he should have paid attention and pinned him, but now he looked more pissed and now wants payback, so I can tell this isn't over. Listen, this feud isn't doing anything for any of these guys. This is literally the best they have for Finn Balor. It's fucking sad. And just looking at this feud is just dumb as hell. It really is, but Finn got the win. We get to the next most probably retarded thing of the night. Who God? Carmella versus Asuka for the SmackDown Women's title with James Ellsworth and a shark cage. This got dumb by literally the entire match. As soon as the match began, Ellsworth pretty much dropped the chain to Carmella, didn't work. Dropped some spray, didn't work. Asuka was dodging it multiple times, and even got to chasing around Carmella at one point until she started hitting her moves on her and hitting the Asuka lock, but pretty much she had her foot on the rope stand. And as Asuka suplexed her pretty much at ringside, then Ellsworth was able to picklock his way out of the cage, which I swear the crowd started chanting, saying, "This is shit." Yeah, this match is shit. And he pretty much got out of the cage, and I guess I should know since he was wearing all those bandanas on his feet. Pretty much started hanging upside down on the cage then. And even had like a flak jacket on to absorb blows or something, almost like a bulletproof vest under his jacket. Pretty much Asuka started kicking him and beating up several times, and security's trying to, or the production crew was trying to, lower the cage and stuff, but Asuka beat up the production crew and, start beating up Ellsworth. Carmella just pushed Asuka into like the bottom part of the cage, got the win. This is dumb. Creative must hate Asuka, or somebody hates Asuka. This was bad. This was horrible. Asuka looks like the biggest goof right now. It's crazy how they went from a dominant streak in NXT, making her look like a legit badass woman you didn't want to mess with, damn near unstoppable, to now losing against Carmella in these silly, most bullshit ways and protecting Ellsworth. And then, Asuka beats up Ellsworth after the match, but this was dumb, okay? Nobody even did. Listen, there was barely reaction throughout this match. This whole match was garbage. This was probably one of the worst things of the night, if you ask me. One of the worst things. Not the worst thing, but damn near the worst thing if you want to rate it up there. I probably would put this damn near number one, if you ask me. Was, once again, Asuka looks like a fucking goof. And I don't know why they keep having Ellsworth here to protect them, but this was shit. It was. Next, which was very confusing, Jeff Hardy versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the U.S. title. Now, okay. As soon as, I will go with the match first. as soon as the match began, well, before it even began, once again, Nutshot Nakamura himself, low blows anybody. And then as soon as the match started, as they checked on Jeff Hardy, Nakamura hit Kinshasa and won the match in 6 seconds. And I'm sitting there like, what is this? Now, the thing is that people have been saying is that Jeff Hardy has been hurt. I've been reading these reports that he's been hurt for almost a month or two now. I don't know how true that statement was, if he really is hurt. I don't know his injury, but maybe this was the reason why the belt was taken off of him right here. But then again, we'll get into the next part in a second. But as soon as the match ended, Randy Orton comes out making his big return since he had knee surgery recently. He comes out, Nakamura gets on top of the announce table, and I guess Orton pretty much looks at Jeff Hardy. I'm thinking he's going to go for RKO, but he pretty much puts him to the ground, opens his legs, and then starts to stomp him in the nuts. I'm going to stomp him in the nuts. Make that a Botchamania thing from the Boondocks, stomp in the nuts. So that's a good idea to put out there. But pretty much looking at that. So it's like, what, did Randy Orton just turn heel? If he is heel, I hope he is heel, because heel Orton is better than face Orton. But then again, it's like, if Orton's going to go for the U.S. title, so what's going to be, heel Nakamura versus heel Orton? Or will this pretty much culminate into a triple threat match at SummerSlam? I was surprised to see Randy Orton. No, that was a big surprise here, since he was, like I say, he hasn't been seen since May. And it is going to be a triple threat match, or he's going to look like, I'm going to do this to you, Nakamura, or however they're going to play this out. I'm not really sure how they're going to do this, really. But I would have loved to see a match with Hardy and Nakamura. It probably would have been the best match, but now they have to save this match for Tuesday, for the rematch now. So that's how that's going to go. But I am very, I was just very surprised this match was 6 seconds. But I'm going like, either Jeff Hardy is hurt, or I don't know how we're going to go with this, because most of it's just, hey, it's more nutshot. That's how we're kind of playing into this now. But I don't know where this is going to go. Okay, I'm going to assume it's a triple threat. Like I said, I was surprised to see Randy Orton come back, but was Jeff Hardy really hurt? I don't know. But Nakamura winning in 6 seconds, and they had to pretty much stop the feud for a second, because they pretty much announced this match the last minute for Extreme Rules, because, Nakamura got bit by a dog. But at least, hey, Nakamura finally got a title, though, I guess people are going at. He finally got a title, but did this man really deserve another title shot after losing to AJ Styles damn near 5-6 times for WWE title shot? Why did he even need another title shot for the U.S. one right after? But hey, he got his first title. I'm like, hey, we threw Nakamura a bone. That's pretty much consolation prize. That's how I'm kind of looking at this right now. But it probably would have been a really great match with Jeff Hardy and Nakamura. But I guess we gotta wait till Tuesday. But hey, new U.S. champion. Next, Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens in a cage match. This is just insanity right here. Listen, I don't know what Kevin Owens has ever really done to Braun Strowman that much, that Braun Strowman is just pretty much, people say, bullying him every week now. What did he really do to him? Because most of what I've seen is just, him getting the crap kicked out of him damn near every week now by Braun Strowman. And, they did the cage match. It wasn't bad, but I think the biggest thing to talk about was the spot, the insanity spot, which pretty much, Owens was able to, handcuff Braun Strowman to the wherever he got the handcuffs from, to the ropes. But then Owens started beating him up, and then he said, hey, Strowman, suck it! I did like that. He told him to suck it, and then he pretty much blew him a kiss. But then Strowman broke free, and they literally went to the top of the freaking cage, and Strowman chokeslammed, or just threw Owens off the cage into the broadcast table. Probably could have killed him right here. Listen, some people think this was almost like Mick Foley being thrown off the cage by Undertaker, even though Hell in a Cell was much higher, damn near. But they said it was the same city it happened. But why was this spot needed for? Like, you think pushing him off a porta potty off the stage was bad? This damn near probably is gonna kill him right here. This whole feud is bizarre. What did Owens ever really do to Strowman that badly that now we gotta kill Owens every week? Nearly double, triple murder him. Did Owens win the match? Yes, he did, but at what cost though? And I'm surprised this even happened. I'm used to seeing Shane McMahon do some crazy shit like this, but Kevin Owens, I don't know. Was it worth it though in this weird feud? I don't even know. So yeah, they stretched him out and they said you're the winner, Kevin Owens, and I guess he's the winner or something. It's just insane. It really was that insane when you look at all of this. So because I'll admit it was a holy shit chant, of course, but the fact that he just threw him off the top of the cage was just insane into the table. Because I'm like, my God, he damn near killed Kevin Owens. What was the point? I don't know. Next was the SmackDown Tag Titles, which earlier in the night, Daniel Bryan and Kane were attacked by the Bludgeon Brothers. Now, the question was this. Okay, Daniel Bryan was pretty much almost going to do the match himself against Harper and Rowan. And people wonder would Kane even show back out since they hurt his leg, and who was his tag team partner going to be. There were rumors to be Miz, but I heard Miz was at some baseball thing that night, so I know he wasn't going to be there. And I'm glad this thing did not happen. People said Hulk Hogan was going to be Daniel Bryan's partner to make the save. Now, let me say this right here. I know there's been going on today that, Hulk Hogan was reinstated back into the WWE Hall of Fame. Listen, I don't never really think he shouldn't have been taken out of the Hall of Fame, but you know how they say, like, he's learned from his mistakes. Listen, the shit Hulk Hogan did was horrible and unforgivable, and it's like, do we really, let me just say this right here. What value does Hulk Hogan really prove at this point? What is he really going to draw at this point, okay? Listen, is he here for some nostalgia act? That's what it's probably going to be. Because when I look at it right now, he's a racist piece of shit. The shit he said was horrible. And it's like, what the fuck do you need this guy here for? And I know people have been saying, and they said it themselves, he's been in the back talking to wrestlers and everything. But it's like, who gives a shit? He pretty much proved himself to be a racist piece of shit. Fuck him. You can't trust Hulk Hogan nowadays. And Hogan has proved himself to be an idiot several times in the past if you look at the stories he's done. And, anything. Just look at the stories. Come on, this guy is pretty much lied about so many things. It's crazy. But when you read the details of why he was even taken out of the Hall of Fame and why this fucker hasn't been seen in the past 3 years. Listen, the man may have won the Gawker case of over whatever $100-something million. But when you go back to the sex tapes and you hear the racist shit he said, and then the comments when he was talking to his son, his son in jail about black people, it's like, fuck this guy. I don't think nobody wanted to see him. And this crowd tonight, I would have laughed, and somebody pointed this out, I was reading on Twitter, I would have laughed, they said you're a racist if he came out there. So fuck this guy. Fuck Hulk Hogan. We don't really need him back. I understand he is pretty much how can I say this, a huge historical part to professional wrestling, but does he really need to come back to the WWE? Like, dead ass. I'm pretty much gonna go on and say that. Do we really need him back here? Because right now it's just fuck him. Seriously, what the fuck you need him back for? It's a racist piece of shit. We're gonna bring this guy. It's always just funny when WWE says he's learned from his mistakes. Okay. Learn from his mistakes. Yeah, let's talk about the past mistakes and bullshit this man's done in the past too. So, like I said, the shit he said was unforgivable, and he does not need to be back here. He just doesn't, okay? And I'm glad he was not out here tonight, because that would have looked dumb as fuck. So, just fuck him. And like I said, I didn't think he really needed to be out of the Hall of Fame, because we dream this Chris Benoit, the guy, but I don't know, man. I don't think nobody wants to see this guy again. And they just pretty much easily trying to stead him back into the company and stuff. But it's like, fuck this guy. And I know some people think he was going to be Velveteen Dream's manager. If you go back to NXT TakeOver Chicago with him coming out in the Puma and Hogan gear, I swear it was the draw heat or something. But, I don't even know. But that's my little rant. I just wanted to address the whole Hogan being back, and I had to speak my piece on that. But this match itself between well, Kane did come out later to help on, and pretty much his whole leg has a cast in and everything. Kane was able to get choke slams out there and stuff, but Bryan was able to come back with a missile drop kick. He was he pretty much hit his running knee, but pretty much he was gonna hit the running knee then, but it didn't work. They pretty much took out Bryan, and then they hit him with a Doomsday Device, taking out Team Hell No. So Bludgeon Brothers got the win, but I guess this was the way. Who are they protecting here? Team Hell No by getting attacked in the back and getting another title shot? Maybe because they didn't really need a title shot as soon as they reformed 5 minutes later, and Paige just throws them a title shot just because. But I don't know what you really could have done with this match, and this wasn't that really good. Listen, Daniel Bryan was super over. There's no problem with that. We already know he's going to be super over, but just this match itself was I don't even know. I don't know. The Bludgeon Brothers, they haven't really done that good as a tag team. Having the tag team titles with their reign, it hasn't really been that impressive at all. So, that's my point on it. But it's nothing much to say from there. Roman Reigns versus Bobby Lashley. By God, thank God this wasn't the main event, because I'm sure it would have gotten bigger boos. And of course, Roman Reigns was booed. Same with Lashley, which he got some cheers at least, but. Crowd starts chanting Rusev Day, of course. Starts chanting, we want beach balls, of course. Yeah, you have some Roman fans out there, but it's like this match was booed at both guys. I will say the crazy spot that happened was when Reigns did like a fireman's carry on Lashley outside of the ring. I saw Lashley damn near landing on his head, it looked like, but he took a hard fall going out there. But the match itself, I'm not going to say it was that bad, really, but I didn't really care for any of these two winning because this feud was so cold. And they never really said, because I'm looking at these two and I'm wondering, okay, who's going to be the one to go against Brock at SummerSlam? But surprisingly, I will say Bobby Lashley won, and I wanted Bobby Lashley to win, but I just felt like I didn't think he was going to win because of this company and how, they pushed Roman to the freaking moon. But Reigns pretty much started saying, this is my yard, and he tried to hit a spear, but Lashley hit his own spear and got the clean win on him. So if it's going to be Lashley versus, Lesnar at SummerSlam, I hope so, but I don't know if that's going to happen on that. But listen, Lashley needed the win, okay? He needed the win after that horrible Sami Zayn feud last month, okay? And he needed this win. Listen, Roman Reigns, he's bulletproof. He's Teflon, okay? He's going to get some title shot one way or another. Just talk about Brock tomorrow night. He'll be okay. But Bobby Lashley needed a big win to boost him up, to prove that, he is in the main event spot. Okay? That's what they really needed. But I'm glad this match in that main event. I don't think people cared about any of these guys or where this was going. But, Lashley getting the win, I have no problem with it. I know it hasn't been the best run for Lashley coming back, because me and other people have just been saying, just send this guy back to Impact, because he was the fucking man down there. So I hope something is better for Lashley going on after this. So we'll see what happens. Probably the next worst match of the night. I swear both of these women's matches sucked. Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax in an Extreme Rules match. Mickie James was out there. Natalya was out there. Ronda Rousey, of course, by ringside, and I swear it turned into like a cartoon at one point. It's almost like some Benny Hill shit or anything where you ever see that thing where one person hands someone a weapon? It's almost like a Looney Tunes cartoon. Like you hand that person a weapon, and then the big guy just keeps breaking the weapon and moving on to the next one. That's what it looked like. It was just Nia Jax chasing Bliss around, and then Mickey's just handing her multiple weapons, trash cans, steel chairs, and she's like, Kindle stick. And then just chased her off then after breaking the kendo stick. That's what it looked like. It looked like a cartoon right there. And Nia Jax pretty much hit a military press slam on Bliss, dropping her onto the trash can. Then Nia Jax charging at her. Of course, Natalya was going to get involved in taking out Bliss, but Mickie James came for the save. But Ronda Rousey got pissed off because they were beating up Natalya. Rousey just throws Mickie James multiple times to the barricade and hit her with a some move. I don't even know what that was. How would I say? Almost like an FU damn near. And then threw her across the announce table then. But Rousey was going to get blitzed and looked at it. People trying to chant for Ronda Rousey. Mickie James pretty much came back with a kendo stick and started beating up Ronda Rousey then. And Blissick pretty much got on the top row, was going to hit Jax, but Jax Carter was going to hit a Samoan drop, but it did not work. And then Bliss and Mickie James started hitting Nia Jax with steel chairs. And by God, listen, Mickie James could hit a steel chair. I could hit that. I can understand that. But when Bliss was hitting Nia Jax with the steel chair, those look like some of the weakest chair shots I ever seen. Like the one in the stomach looked weak. The one in the back looked weak. It looked like she could barely swing the thing, but she's the champion for some reason. And then hits the DDT on her for the win. And, you know, Rousey came back in the ring then after jumping the barricade, hurting Natalya. Listen, this match was just fucking bad. It was going to be a lot of overbooking and interferences, and it just looked damn silly. Listen, the crowd was hot for Ronda Rousey, but listen, I didn't care about this match. I didn't give a shit about this match. I kind of knew Bliss was just going to win. I don't want to see Bliss versus Ronda Rousey at SummerSlam in general, unless Rousey's going to beat her in like 5 or 10 seconds, but yeah, and stuff. But just looking at this match is just why it looked like a freaking cartoon show out there. From the Benny Hill, like run around, hand the weapon like Looney Tune hitting and just throwing weapon back and forth, and everyone's getting involved, and the thing at the end with the steel chairs just looked bad. Bliss just is like, yeah. That's what it looked like. It looked so weak. The chair shots just looked freaking weak. It really did. So why this match sucked? It really did. Just a lot of interferences. So who cares? Moving on. AJ Styles went against Rusev for the WWE title, which, once again, I don't know why the WWE Championship. This is the main title on the show, and for some reason, when is the last time AJ Styles has made a pay-per-view? Please, somebody answer that for me. Ever since AJ Styles has won the WWE Championship. No, I think the last time he did main event a pay-per-view was, I think it was Fastlane, but that was a SmackDown pay-per-view, though. Now that all these pay-per-views are cross-branded, it's like he's the WWE champion. He's your only main champion on the show, but he can't main event the pay-per-view? Okay. But AJ Styles went against Rusev for the title. Listen, this was not a bad match. I will say that. I never thought Rusev was going to win the title in general. Okay, Rusev was never going to win. Look at the build. It wasn't really that good at all. It was okay, but I never really thought Rusev was going to win. I knew English was going to get involved, and he took off the turnbuckle, which, AJ, Rusev hit the turnbuckle, and AJ hit a 450 and got a 2 count, but Styles pretty much took out English. He hit the forearm and won the match, but Rusev was never going to win. I'm sorry, he wasn't. Yes, Rusev Day and he was over, but it's like I said before, they were throwing Rusev a bone, so AJ was never going to lose the championship. He really wasn't, okay? So it wasn't a bad match. Rusev proved himself to prove his own out there. So, I'm not saying this was a bad match or anything, but come on. AJ was, never losing the title, okay? Like, he just wasn't. But as we moved on to the main event, and by God, this main event, I was laughing throughout this main event. The Iron Man match. This was a bizarre. This is probably one of the most bizarrest Iron Man match I could ever think of. Listen, and I know it's gonna be, it's 30 minutes, and again the main event. I was actually surprised they were gonna be the main event of this show, but I was surprised so many falls happened in the first 5 minutes of the entire, entire match really, and the crowd. Listen, the match wasn't bad all the way. I will say this. The match wasn't that bad. Probably one of the best ones of the night. But it was just a lot of strange things from the falls of how quick they were. And, oh, God, let's get to the crowd here. The clock. The clock. Oh, God, this clock was... The crowd hijacked this match. Let's get that out of the way first. The crowd hijacked it, which pretty much people literally thought this was the freaking Royal Rumble or something, as they counted from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and even when they took the clock off, the crowd still did it, and everything. They still chanted 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The clock was more over than these two, in the entire match, okay? Was it funny at first? Yes, but it went on the entire match, though, which I see a lot of people get mad on Twitter and pissed that it was pretty much coming off as disrespectful and it was dumb. And yeah, it was dumb after a while. It was funny at first, but when the clock is more over than this match, that tells you something. But Rollins, he got like the first fall, like almost in under 5 minutes. Then he got a curb stomp on him for the second. And then it was by DQ for the third since McIntyre got involved. He was sent to the back. But, you know, after the Claymore kick, Ziggler got 1. Then he did a super kick. That was 2. Then the zigzag was 3, which, like I said, the wins was just coming up like fast, like it was nothing. So after we got 3 and 3, then Ziggler pretty much hit his foot on the ropes. That was a 4-3 score. Then after that, I'm trying to see what was the next one for 4. I think Rollins got him with a roll up then for the 4. But it's like I said before, it was kind of hard to pay attention to this match because the match was really good. It's just the crowd repeatedly started counting, you know, from 10 to 1 all the time. Like I said, it was the Royal Rumble. It was the clock was more over. They even cheered and chanted, did yes chants as soon as the clock was finally back on the screen. The crowd popped for the clock being back on the screen. So I feel like we're not going to see a lot of these Iron Man matches for a while now since the crowd wanted to hijack it. But as you know, the match went on and they were tied. Rollins was able to hit the zigzag pretty much to why did I say zigzag? Rollins hit the curb stomp, but he ran out of time. Kurt Angle came out there and says, you know what, we're going to overtime now. Sudden death. The crowd wants to see this. It's his hometown. As soon as the match started, McIntyre came out, distracted him. Ziggler hit the zigzag, and it was over. Literally after about 5 or 10 seconds, it was done. Listen, this match was not good. Okay, I'm sorry, not the match, but this show was not good. Where do you begin of how bad this show was? This just kind of came to be damn near, it was just disappointing, but very bad. So what do I count worst number 1? Listen, first off, Asuka looks like a freaking goof out there. The women's match between Carmella and Asuka, horrible, god awful. The Extreme Rules match with Nia Jax and Bliss, I hope we never see these two face each other again anymore. That was bad too. Just overbooking cartoon like shit. And those weak-ass chair shots of Bliss through at the end, very bad. It was Rousey getting involved wasn't that bad, but, you know, just, that was bad. Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin should have been saved for Monday Night Raw, or just kill the feud in general, because I don't know where it's going at this point. The B team picking up the titles, I'm not going to say that was a bad thing entirely, but I was somewhat surprised to see them win. But then again, what was Hardy and Wyatt doing with the titles anyway? The tag division on Raw is just not good right now, unless the Authors of Pain win the titles out of, like, if they, you know, the B team's transitional champions, you know, they just get the win right there for the Authors of Pain. What else was pretty bad? Now, as for Jeff Hardy and Nakamura, I don't want to say it was bad all the way if Jeff Hardy was really hurt, like I said earlier, but the fact that the match was, what, 6 seconds, and it was just consisted of a nut shot and a Kinshasa, I'm not sure. Randy Orton making his return, though. I don't know where this is going, so I'm trying to get this time for a triple threat. Braun Strowman killing Kevin Owens again. I don't know where this feud really leads up to at this point, other than how fast can we kill Kevin Owens every week on this show, or, you know, how do we want to destroy him? I don't know where this is going at this point. It wasn't bad, but it's almost like, why are we doing this to Kevin Owens for and killing him damn near every week? I don't understand that. The SmackDown tag titles, it's just, I don't know, man. I don't really know what to think about this entire match. I know they got attacked in the back, but, you know, I've already went on the rant. There was no Miz around. I've already said fuck Hulk Hogan and everything, so I'm kind of glad he wasn't out there too. But I don't really know what to think about the tag match in general all the way. It's just like, you know, Bryan was over, but it's just like, it was just kind of, it just wasn't really that good either. You know, Kane came back later, but I don't know where this is leading to all the way. Roman Reigns versus Bobby Lashley. I'm not going to say this was a bad match. It's just the crowd didn't care for any of these guys. They did not care about any of these two. They just didn't. They did not care for neither man, especially Roman. But I'm assuming Bobby Lashley's going to get the title shot next against Lesnar if Lesnar even shows up at SummerSlam. But after what Kurt Angle said earlier in the night, he's going to have to. AJ versus Rusev was not a bad match. It was actually a really good match, but come on, Rusev was never winning the title. And as for the Iron Man match itself, this wasn't a bad match. It's just the crowd did not care because the clock was over. And it was, even I will say it was some strange booking from how the wins. I'm like, wow, these wins was just coming quick as ever. Like the points was just racking up really fast. So it's just win after win after win after win after win. Like my God, these pinfalls was just coming real quick. Especially in the first 10 minutes, we already was like what 3-3, 4-3, really? Because Seth was just racking up wins like ever, but the crowd hijacked the entire match. They did not care about they just didn't care about the Iron Man match. They were more interested on what the clock was going to come back up on the screen. Because all you heard was 10-1 and, just like they thought this was the Royal Rumble tonight, and they popped when the clock came back on. But listen, this show was just not really good. I kind of figured that the show was not going to be good. And I've said before about this entire card. For a pay-per-view called Extreme Rules, there's nothing really extreme about this pay-per-view. And it's like I said at the beginning of this review, I had more fun watching the G1 Climax earlier today, probably for the past 2 days and throughout this entire month of whoever's going to win that whole tournament, than I had more fun watching that show than I had more fun watching this show tonight. I was laughing at this show at the time, or just shaking my head or going F this show or whatever was going on with this. Because it was either crowd hijacking it or not caring about this show in general throughout multiple parts of these matches, or just bad booking or bad planning in a lot of this stuff. So it was like a lot of more bad I could point out from Extreme Rules than I could find good in all of this. So where do you go from here? I don't know where this goes, but SummerSlam is next. Let's see if they screw that up next. But I don't know where this is going to happen next. I just don't. I don't know, but it was the only really worst things I could say out of the night was damn near the women's matches. That was probably one of the worst things of the night, especially that shark cage. That was just bad. That was very, 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 very bad. So I don't know. We saw 2 title changes tonight. Nakamura is the new U.S. champion, even though the 6-second thing was not even 6 seconds, and then the B team picking up the win. So yeah, but like I said, I still think the WWE title should have probably been the main event because, come on, the crowd cares more about clock now. But hey, that's my review for Extreme Rules. I'm out of here. I will see you guys later. Peace out. Comment, subscribe. Tell me what you thought about this show tonight. So yeah, I am out of here. I will see you guys later. We did not do any live reactions for this show. I'm kind of glad I didn't do live reactions for this show tonight. Looking at what I saw tonight, I'm glad I didn't waste my time on that. And we're just gonna do this review right here. So I'm out of here. I will see you guys later. Peace out.